Welcome back. We are us, and this is like rubbing the sleep from your eyes, fresh off of having woken up on a day that you were supposed to be going to work, but you don't, because be it a national holiday, a just incidental day off, or whether you've actually put in some PTO, you don't have to go to work today. And maybe it's just me, but I like actually rubbing the sleep from my eye and then just flicking it, because why not? I don't know what it is about rubbing the sleep from my eyes, but I find it enjoyable. Nevertheless, this is Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. Now, as you can see, quite plainly, we are in a tavern. The Bad Luck Tavern, or I don't care. We're here to talk to Mylara, about taking her ship from here to the island that Handsonic is on. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way. It's going to cost 100,000 gold. Thank goodness I'm pretty flush with cash. Mylara raises her chin and solemnly pronounces, "In that case, the Starcatcher III and her crew are at your disposal. The ship waits at the mooring pillars, but you don't need to bother yourself by visiting that nasty and unpleasant place. After you're done with all your current business in Handsonic and are ready to head off, just use this portal. It'll drop you right onto the deck of Starcatcher III. I mean, I could stand to visit... what's his mug? The guy, Storyteller. I could stand to visit him, but I don't have anything necessary to complete the item he can revitalize, and there are no items he's selling that are going to be useful to me at this point. I got what I wanted out of him, which was the diamond dust. Ooh, and that came in so clutch. Granted, I didn't need it at the time, but I needed it. So let's go. You stand in front of the portal that will lead you to the airship's deck. This vessel will take you to Cava, where you'll have to fight Baphomet's merciless daughter, Melazmera. Let's keep in mind, I haven't buffed everyone because, why would I do that? It's 3 horses and a triceratops. Good lord. 2 horses. I better be able to keep the goddamn horses, because she said we'd only be able to take 6 people. Oh, and, Ivo. So, yeah. You have a long and dangerous journey ahead. There will be no turning back, and you will only be able to rely on yourself and your companions. Before departing on this deadly and dangerous mission, you would be wise to check your equipment meticulously and complete all unfinished business, because the opportunity to come back here may never appear again. I've done everything I needed to do here, at least as far as I'm aware. I've talked to my companions. The business with WeArEuS yesterday kind of turned into a whole other thing that I didn't expect. I expected it more or less, but not that it just kept going. So there was that. But I spoke to everyone else. No one seems to have any other business. I could have talked to Darren, but I don't really like talking to him. Plus, we're not ready to deal with his, how do I put it? His passenger. Quite yet. The route marked on the map connects Olympia and Colifere with a black line. It is straight and steadfast, just like the commander himself, determined to catch and slay his enemy Melazmera, Baphomet's daughter, at all cost. Starcatcher III easily catches the air currents and glides forward. Discipline, instilled by the grim sorceress called Mylara, reigns over the ship. Silent and diligent sailors sweep away the tiniest signs of mess on deck with the eagerness of zealous inquisitors. The voyage is only just underway, but the commander and his crew are already facing their first challenge. Having spotted the lone ship, a flock of harpies rises to the coastal rocks. I was about to take that in a direction that it almost certainly isn't going to go. In treating these harpies as if they were monster girl harpies, you know? But I'm not going to elucidate on that idea. Having spotted the lone ship, a flock of harpies rises from the coastal rocks. Armed with hooked talons and carnivorous grins, they rush upward, squawking. Eerie, harmonious, and enchanting songs fill the air. The gazes of some sailors go blank as they cast away their lines and walk unsteadily toward the ship's broadside to step into the void, where their sweet-voiced songstresses are waiting for them. The commander decides to greet the harpies with a song of his own, a true hymn of freedom and praise for the tempestuous winds. The harpies react with yearning and awe at the commander's magnificent vocal harmony. The malicious magic dissipates, but the winged man-eating predators follow the ship for a while, admiring the commander's voice and singing paeans in his honor. Paeans, my mistake. Many cultures consider malice and belligerence to be contagious diseases. In the abyss, one particular place transmits such quarrels in the air like a noxious miasma. This place is called Mara Island, and the ship is flying right over it. Discord-sowing whispers fill the thoughts of every crew member. Sailors suddenly begin casting hostile glances at each other, while muted but merciless brawls break out here and there with almost zero provocation. Such is the aura of Mara Island, the heart of malice and disorder, a cauldron of the affliction known as strife. Captain Mylara frowns as she observes the discontented mood reigning on the deck. She retires to her cabin, and just a quarter of an hour later, the situation changes. You chose Captain Mylara and her ship to travel to the island of Colifere. The choice of the captain and ship may have a profound effect on the course of the journey. The situation changes drastically. A strange, eerie apathy falls over the ship's crew. The sailors look at each other with blank eyes, unable to comprehend why they were ready to lunge for each other's throats just a few moments ago. The uncanny apathy fades away right after Mara disappears from the horizon, and only then does Mylara return to the deck looking wan and exhausted. She was casting some spelly-doos. A hurricane of enormous proportions rages toward the ship, threatening to crush the boat like an eggshell. A whirlwind rips a gaping sailor from this tackle and tears him apart in midair. The winds catch the ship and draw it into a deadly dance. The elemental embrace lasts for hours, days, or maybe months. Within the stormy darkness and the chaos of crashing, salty waves, mere moments seem like an eternity. It feels as if the wild winds have subdued even time itself, twisting it into a bizarre spiral. The commander can barely make out the dark shape of the island called Alir below, offering a chance that the ship might seek refuge there, but what dangers might await the vessel on land? Would it be smarter to make a valiant attempt to drive the ship through the raging elements? The commander, I'm going to have them stay on course because I've tried Alir. No. As it stands, this relies, every skill check is going to rely entirely on Morrow, and he sucks. If it's not a magic item, he's full on retard. So, I need to try something different. The abyss is filled with vile creatures that threaten the lives of courageous aeronauts. Some of them are sentient, others less so. The mightiest and cruelest. Oh, but while attempting to avoid them all, it is easy to forget about the mightiest and cruelest monster of all. The abyss itself, merciless, destructive, and filled with rage. The ship is buffeted from side to side, only ever a moment away from being reduced to dust between two colliding whirlwinds. Since our magic device is high enough that we literally cannot fail this, hey, look, he's finally useful. Rather than being a slack-jawed idiot. Anyway, I'm extremely upset about what happened before, so I'm just going to try and push that away and pretend it didn't happen. Let it die in the save files where it belongs. The commander personally takes the helm. Flying through a hurricane is an impossible task for most captains in the Midnight Isles, but not for the commander. Carefully searching for the least dangerous airstreams, he manages to escape monstrous gusts of winds that destroy everything in their path. Before long, a crack of light appears in the gloom, gradually turning into a wide crevice between the dark clouds and ultimately showing the way to salvation. Battered and beaten, the ship barely breaks free of the storm's iron grip. Many sailors have been torn off the rigging by whirlwinds. A giant crack gapes in the hull, and some particularly damaging gusts have blown away the quarterdeck. Judging by the captain's observations, the hurricane has blown the ship to the far south of the archipelago. The storm-battered vessel requires urgent repairs, and the stock of provisions and drinking water in the hold was not intended to support such an unpleasantly protracted journey. The lookout points to a violet glow on the horizon. The source is a series of glaciers which, thanks to their unique optical properties, refract light and produce an amethyst glow that is visible from a great distance. This colossal natural beacon of giant purple glaciers erupts from the bowels of the island of Nahindri, home to pirates and slavers. One such horror of an aircraft emerges from the clouds to intercept the commander's ship. Numerous spikes impaled with writhing, flayed bodies decorate the pirate ship, and it looks like the sails are made of the skins of its unfortunate victims. A huge symbol on the sail indicates that the ship belongs to the cultists of Dagon, Shadow Lord of the Sea. With bloodthirsty screams, they advance upon the commander's vessel. So, none of these skill checks. What the actual frick? Why does this use his? It's still not an option. But why does this use his when all of the other skill checks I've encountered previously have required just Morrow? What the frick is wrong with this game? You have to forgive me because I am genuinely upset. I tried going to Alira, which ends up with your ship getting covered in living vines. Then all of the skill checks to get you out of the situation are extremely high. I'm saying extremely, but they're like 40 and below. And Morrow has nothing aside from magic device. So he's completely worthless, and it uses only him to determine whether you succeed or fail. It makes no sense, but it's using Regil here? Why is it using him for religion when Stila and Ember have higher values than he does? I'm tired of being angry, you know? I just want the game to be consistent in the rules it establishes. But for some reason, it can't be bothered to do that. The only reasonable option that we have is to negotiate with them. And they're pirates and slavers. Like, this can only go one way. The pirates, who constantly offer up praises to Dagon, answer the commander's proposal with mocking whistles and laughter. They didn't come here to chat. Their bloodthirsty patron demands fresh sacrifices. The ships clash as boarding hooks fly into the air, bite into the ship and bind the vessels together with a web of ropes that kill any hope of escape. The boarding pirates launch themselves forward, brandishing their cleavers. The commander's sailors roar upward to meet them with the firm intention of keeping them away from the deck of their ship. Hey! At least he's not being slack-jawed. It doesn't make any sense. There's no consistency here. Nevertheless, the commander stands by the helm and tries to make a maneuver that will give the sailors from his ship an advantage in the battle. With tireless maneuvering, the commander does everything he can to keep his ship above the pirates' broadside. It provides his crew with sufficient protection while leaving the enemy's deck utterly exposed. Having taken most of the pirates down with well-aimed shots, the crew turns all of their anger on those who managed to board the ship. Fighting on the cramped deck of an airship is a brutal and gory sight. The boards grow sticky with blood, and bodies of dead sailors hang lifelessly from the rigging. The pirate ship set on fire in several different places at once loses altitude rapidly. The mast comes tumbling down onto the deck, which jackknifes and collapses into the cargo hold with an almighty crash. The little dark figures of the pirates plummet into Ishiyar, tumbling with their arms windmilling comically in futile attempts to spread their torn and wounded wings. This is certainly a victory, but at a high and bloody cost. Calafir is straight ahead, but supplies are running short. The crew plans to replenish them on the forbidding isle of Vazglar. Once, Vazglar was quite an important island covered in the ruins of abandoned cities that hid both unimaginable treasures and horrible dangers. But the abyss is ever-changing, so now Vazglar lies flooded, and the veins of Nahindrian crystals hidden in its depths have been depleted at the hands of Hepzamiro's proxies. All the crew can see is a lonely rock that sticks out of the water like a huge fang. On its summit, the crew spots a small complex of tombs, and not far from it stands a tiny village by the cliffs. Just several houses that look like pale mushrooms, with huge caps and round windows. The residents of these homes are most likely a gaggle of fishermen that live off Ishiyar's bounty, and now they must be hiding within, afraid the visitors are after their property and supplies. Do you see my problem here? I would like to search the ruins, though. I mean, you know me. I likes my treasure. So, don't get me wrong. This is definitely on the table. I'm definitely doing this. I just want treasure first. What differentiates a successful tomb raider from an unsuccessful one? The ability to understand whether a tomb is designed to protect what's hidden inside from thieves or to protect those on the outside from something imprisoned within. Dead silence reigns in the ruins before the commander's eyes, and a thick layer of dust indicates that this place has remained undisturbed for many ages. Without a doubt, these tombs are protected with devious traps, and their walls are covered with inscriptions in different languages that threaten potential robbers with a swift and horrible death. I don't understand. We would be able to get this. Well, no. I think our highest religion is. I think both Ember and Sela have 20. Lan would be able to get the trickery done, but of course, we can't use Lan because why would we when it would make sense? Can't have it making sense now, can we? Oh well. Captain Mylara leads the way resolutely, showing places where traps against robbers may lie hidden. The impressive skills she demonstrates while dealing with the traps indicate that this is not the first burial ground she has disturbed, but she answers all questions about her prior archaeological experience with grim silence and pursed lips. Having covered the path through the traps with the bodies of sailors, the commander manages to get to the heart of the ruins. This path turns out to be soaked with the blood of unlucky tomb raiders, but the sailors, being too afraid to defy the commander, obediently go to face their deaths, disarming one trap after another. The commander enters the tomb of an ancient mage. A mummified corpse rests on a stone altar, its bony fingers gripping a relic. Ooh. Facing no resistance from the dead man, the commander resolutely snatches the treasure from the lifeless hands. Immediately, the wall starts to tremble. Coastal stones tumble into the ocean, and the ground itself begins to fall apart. Whatever spell protected this tomb was also holding this piece of Vasglar together. But with the grave's disturbance, the magic has lost its power. The commander and his companions are forced to run to the ship, escaping mere seconds before the rock loses the last of its integrity and falls into the water below in a hail of stones. The fate of the settlement residents who lived too close to the ancient tomb is unfortunate. Yep. Calafir is in sight. However, this is not the end of the expedition. No, not for the commander. After all, journeys end in a safe port where the fortunate survivors may heal their wounds, quench their thirst, and drink away their loot. Calafir promises nothing of the sort. It is all grim rocks, gloomy caves, and the horrible creatures lurking within. One such creature notices the ship and takes flight. The beast is an umbral dragon, its scarlet eyes sparkling rapaciously, its jaws opening hungrily, and the airship seems a convenient snack for this monster. He wouldn't make that. The commander takes the helm and tries to slip away from the attacking monster using a feinting maneuver. In the darkness, among sharp rocks that pose a mortal threat to any landing ship, the commander notices a crevice with a relatively flat surface. In an impressive feat of courage and skill, he lands the ship right inside the crevice. The scaled monster's prodigious size proves a disadvantage in this pursuit. It can't squeeze its body inside after the vessel. Screeching in disappointment, it wheels around and departs in search of easier prey. The airship finally makes contact with the stony ground of the island. With obvious relief, the sailors hasten to tie the ship to some stone stalagmites so that the vicious wind does not hurl it back to the air. The night grows silent again, deadly silent, and it is unlikely that no one in Calafir has noticed the arrival of the commander and his crew. The expedition is over, but the tribulations that fate has in store for the commander are far from over. Somewhere among these rocks is Baphomet's daughter, and she is gathering an army that will soon try to conquer Galarian. Just so we're clear, the guy that, well, the lives that we sacrificed in order to get here, they were all demons. So, it's fine. There is no shortage of demons for her to hire on as her crew.
A bright future awaits us.
Whether she'll be feeling as neutral about that as I do, well, we're about to find out. We've arrived. As promised, Starcatcher III has carried you safely to your destination. I pronounce this expedition complete. Relieve you of your position as captain and wish you good luck on your mission. What are you going to do now? I gave the crew a few minutes to stretch their legs before we depart for Colifere. The local atmosphere doesn't strike me as particularly, hospitable, and that scaly monster that almost ate us may not be the only one around. Oh, I don't want my money back. I used her crew like sticks to trigger the traps, so yeah, I paid for that fairly. I don't care about number 2 because, how could I possibly ask for them to do more than they've already done? That's just not fair. I've been evil enough to them this time. So, that'll be it. Thank you for your service. Fair winds to you. My Lara gives you a swift nod and bids you farewell. I'm sincerely happy that my cruel fate hasn't claimed your life as it has with so many others. You must be special. Yes, naturally I am. Of all of your previous passengers, I'm the only one with the ability known as save and load. Dismissed. Now, is anyone selling anything? Nope. 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 Unfortunate. Well, that sucked a dick. So now comes the boring part where I have to spend like 8 minutes buffing everyone. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut this business out while I figure out who is supposed to get what. And I'll see you guys once I actually get this done. Alright, I think I've got everything covered. Yeah. Everything should be good to go. So, as you can plainly see, we've got our summons in place. There's one thing I do want to point out. This arrow quiver, it does more than what it says it does. For some reason, it neglects to mention that it also provides a supply of lawful cold iron ammunition that gives a bonus to against Fae, which we're never going to see. Well, I think there's like one demon class that's like counted as Fae, maybe? Maybe I'm wrong, but as far as I'm concerned, it's just that extra bit is completely, it doesn't even exist. The most important part being the lawful and cold iron. So I should be able to have cold and lawful attacks. Oh, not cold, but good and lawful attacks that also happen to be cold iron. And magic. So land is pretty set. I also should have done this while I was thinking about it. Let's put that down, and we are ready to go. And none too soon, because that took way longer than it should have. Also, the shoes that The shoes that let the wearer get up without provoking an attack of opportunity have gone missing. I know I had them. What? What? What is this? Where'd this come from? I have no idea where whatever. As I was saying, the shoes, they're just not here. And I don't know why. No one else is wearing them. Pretty much everyone has footwear that they need to be wearing. This does nothing for him. I'm not going to have him charge. Also, I changed his armor. The armor he originally had was... Can I even find it? There it is. This one, which gave him spell resistance. But I already give him spell resistance, so there's not a real reason for him to be wearing it. It does nothing for him. So, as a result, well, there is the issue of the dexterity max being much lower, but like, whatever, I guess. So, with this armor I've given him, he now gets to add his weapons enhancement to his armor class. Not too shabby. And that's all I've got. There's nothing else of interest. Everything else he's got will just make him much, much more annoying to be alive. Nope, that's not the way I wanted to put that. Everything else he's wearing makes him a much, much more annoying enemy. Brave hero, come to my aid, I beg you. Yeah, I'll get around to that. Right now, I'm looking for loot. Treasure, gold, items, if you don't mind. Okay. I guess that's a thing. We've got this guy, which actually needs to die. So let's give him a target.
It is not an option.
Oh my god, he crit for 146, plus the extra 22 from his double-sided weapon. Double-ended? Whatever. Double-headed? Two-headed? I don't think it matters. Morrow could put these guys in their place. So can... Actually, I want this guy gone. So let's make that happen, Captain. Get rid of that awful goddamn level-stealing aura. Just so we're clear, I'm really angry about that particular aura because the last time I did the little story thing and we went to Alira, it all went tits up. Just, there was no saving it. And we ended up in prison with no items. So you can imagine what fun that was. And the only way to get out was basically to commit violence without items, equipment, and just the spells we had. That's not good, you know? I'm actually going to just put... Doesn't appear to be anything this way. So we'll just put them here. Can we actually get close enough to this guy? Right there. Oh great, he's got that terrible, terrible aura as well. How long do these guys last? 10 minutes, huh? The Treant was the one that lost the level.
You are not.
Regel's back. I'll just take him because why the frick not? Well, since they seemed so... Well, I was going to say since they seemed so intent on keeping me from going this way, I was going to just go ahead and do that anyway. No. No, I'm going to continue the direction I was going originally. This is a Bodak sailor. These bastards have that same stupid aura. Lan, if you would so kindly, handle this for us. Unfortunate. Hurry up. Right, so I was telling you about the prison thing that took place last time. Yeah, so that sucked. What happened was we ended up in the prison. They had all of our items. The only way to get out was to do skill checks, and well, we kind of didn't have any equipment that boosted our ability to do those checks, so as a result, we couldn't pass any of them, aside from the lock-picking one, which was extremely low because the gates were rusted and the locks were the same. I don't like this guy's face, so he's got to go. Let's see. Everyone has energy resistance. Problem is, I don't know if that actually works against, or energy drain resistance, immunity, whatever. I don't know if it works against this stupid aura. Should have used charge, but it probably wouldn't have worked since there's all this in the way. Crap, I hate this. So, as a result of picking the lock, the rusted gate, door, whatever you'd like to call it, made noise, as one would expect, which sort of upset the locals, the guards. We had to fight them. Again, we had no equipment, items, nothing. And they had an armor class of 41 and this trash aura. So every single round, people were just losing levels left and right. And it's obnoxious, you know, because I didn't do anything wrong. Aside from, you know, being screwed by the game. Regardless, as I said, I didn't do anything wrong. And by the time the fight was over, everyone was missing levels. Except for, I think, Lan. Everyone was missing levels. Sela was down literally, what was it? What's her level right now? Sela was down 15 levels. 15 levels. There was no way I was going to restore any of what we needed. What's his armor class? 46? We'll just kill this guy. There wasn't any way we were going to kill him or restore any of those lost levels across. Let's see, there are 3 people with mounts. We have 6 people in the party, plus Ivu. So we have 7 plus 3, 10 people in the party. What's his face doesn't have enough spells to reduce that much energy drain.
You are lacking.
There's just nothing that can be done about that. Well, I don't like you. This'll work. Unless they reflex out of it, which would have sucked, but they didn't. I got 20,000 XP for killing Kestoglir. These guys have an armor class of 41 as well. Let's finally... We can't charge? There. Well, he's dead. Does us nothing. No favors, I mean. How much health? I don't want to use this, but if it makes the fight take less time, let's just deal with it. Yes, step up and do nothing. Classic treant. This can go. Weird. There we go. Oh, you'll also notice that I've sacrificed enough spells in order to get this. I'm not using that. Not anytime soon. And considering that Maro's all the way in the back all the time, I'm most likely never going to use it. And that's the way. So you see how that what is that? Death-stealing gaze, that stupid trash could become a problem really quickly, right? And he's out. You are lacking. We'll just take everything we can. Oh my god. I forgot how much of an annoyance their models can be. Tricky, tricky. Nothing worth it, but I mean, we got money out of it. Ooh, and levels. Also, we have this to restore corruption. That's in the map. Yeah, abyssal corruption. Oh my god. And then we have to deal with more of that trash in the future. And I'm specifically talking about the enervating gate, the death-stealing gaze, my mistake. We're not worried about that right now. Hopefully there are no crystal monsters here. Those things are really annoying to deal with. Oh, this is where I would have ended up if I had not chosen to sacrifice sailors left and right. Why was I trying to be nice to demons again? Well, I was trying to be respectful of the... Technically, I was the captain at the time, but I was trying to be respectful to the captain of the ship. Mylara, I believe her name was. So this is where we would have ended up, and also of note, since all of our equipment was taken, guess who wasn't in the cell with us? Yeah. Granted, Bismuth's presence doesn't really do much for us, but he allows Ember to move and cast a full round spell at will. So, if nothing else, he's definitely a very useful mount. I don't want to go that way. Curious to see where it goes, though. Well, they appear to be either shaken or frightened. I can make that work. What is this? Elder Earth Element. They're both... Then why is this one purple? Black? Purple. Definitely purple. Their reflexes are going to be extremely low. So I started blasting. 100 damage. That's pretty good. We'll cast this because, you know, that's where the good stuff is. What? Deals 3 damage. It dealt? Yeah. Weird. Very weird. Oh, that one... Why did I get that cast for free? I haven't cast that spell 3 times. Have I? No, I might have. As I do, you know. That's not being boosted by anything. Why did it hit so hard? Yeah, of course the divine damage did all of that, but... Wait. Why is this damage divine and not unholy? Oh, no, it is divine. Well, that's my fault. They died appropriately then. Quick save after everything. There's no telling if the game will crash, the internet connection drops out. I'm not risking it. And all that's over here... Oh, a diamond and 6 dinosaur bones. I've got quite a lot of dinosaur bones now. I could actually start casting that one debatably useful spell. What is it? It should be... Does he even have that? One of these should have it. Either him or Ember. Wait. Shield of Law. Granting resistance to spells by chaotic creatures and slow. It's 4 effects. They're all mind affecting. So that is Death Stealing Gaze mind affecting? Anyway, I was looking for something. That spell that made target enlarged. I mean, I hardly use Eagle Soul, and I would use the absolute frick out of Holy Sword. Not for the fact that it's also a goddamn round-based buff. What is that goddamn spell I'm thinking of? It consumes dinosaur bones in order to make the target larger and give them a bunch of other buffs to go along with it. I can't for the life of me remember where the frick that thing is, or if we even have it. I know there it is, Legendary Proportions. We have 47 dinosaur bones, and it lasts a minute per level, so we could cast it outside of a fight. You call upon the primordial power of... I'm not going to do that this time. Let's just read what it has. The creature's height doubles, and it increases its weight by a factor of 12, so 12 times, I guess. The target gains a size bonus to its strength. So could I use this on, what is her name? Ivu? And it would give her adamantine. I mean, that would make her pretty nasty. Just saying. And I don't use these at all. If I could get... I can only get that spell to 6. Unless we get more meta magic. I would love to get more flame strikes. Frankly, that just makes him extremely well, if I can use it without hitting anyone, that is. But once I get selective and put that on it, oh, it just gets silly then. So, Legendary Proportions. I could use that instead of Umbral Strike. Definitely instead of this. I'll look into that next time we need to rest. For now, I believe that distraction has taken up all the time I can allow. The video's past about an hour, and the last video was a bit of a doozy as far as duration is concerned, so... Okay, this is the way we came to get here, so this is where we were. Just a quick save. I'll take care of their levels after the video. So, there's that. You know, this place is extremely open. Oh, I see how this is going to go. I'm going to go all the way over here, interact with whatever there is to interact with, and then something's going to appear here. I mean, I have to touch the treasure. A glittering heap of jewelry, gold coins, gems, and utensils made from precious metals. Huh. Succeeding at a perception check. It turns out it was just rocks. No one wants to read about this now? An illusion makes this pile of cobblestones look like a pile of treasure. Crap, did we just miss out on it? Oh, we can do it again. No? Just in case, because, like, we've got all of our squishies hanging out towards the center of the room. And we'll make you do it, because why not?
I won't let you hurt my friends.
Melazmera. Let's see 72 armor class. Chaotic evil. Wow. Blur, mage armor, foresight, heroism, delay poison. Weird choice. Freedom of movement, see invisibility, shield. Yeah, we're going to have to start stripping stuff from her immediately. Yeah, I'm not mad at that at all. What I don't want is for everyone to walk up to her and then just get blasted by an AoE spell. Or attack or something.
This one's mine.
Next turn. Next turn, that one's yours. For now. She is now affected by fairy fire, which should, according to the way it's described, it should allow us to attack her despite Blur provides just a straight up 20% chance to miss. If we can remove that, we'll have more fun. Of course, we still have to deal with her extremely high armor class by removing the spells, granting it to her. I need to know what sort of... Wait, we could just look at her skills right now.
Do not hold back.
What does Foresight do? Warning of impending dangers, harm, insight bonus against... for saving throws, I guess. What? Wait, she... yeah, reflex and willpower are too high. For some reason, it's immune to invisible. I don't know how that's supposed to apply. Anyway, Shadow Breath. So, nothing I can give them against that. And it doesn't... It's not affected by... Okay. That's not good. Not entirely sure what to do here. But I do know I want to get him as far away from everyone else as possible. Because that's just a dragon breath that you know is coming. Come on. Willpower, there's no way that'll work. Reflex is too high, so we can't use the breath either. Can use this. That'll hopefully help a little. Let's get Darren as far away from that mess as possible. The last thing we want is for him to die. Yeah, I could have used that and then moved over here. Is everyone still... Why did I use this and then use this? That's silly. I'm silly. Okay. So... being airborne, I can't just trap Melazmera in the corner, which is unfortunate. truly and extremely unfortunate. What else does he have at level 8? Nothing useful, so we'll go with this. Anything to distract her. Naturally, they'll do no damage whatsoever, but... Ooh. Oh, this is good. This is nice. Oh, Melazmera's turn is coming up, and I am afraid. Oh, we can also do this. I won't waste another one. How much health does she have? Only 700. Time to start stripping spells off of her. So I guess they all just have magically higher... Huh? That doesn't make any sense. Why can't... That doesn't make any sense. I really wish I could move Ember onto this pile of treasure here. But we get what we get. It is very important that we use this to strip as much off of her as we can. Because otherwise we can't win this. Great. The difficulty check is 40. Well, it's lower for some other ones. She just absolutely had to lowball the dispel. Beautiful. Okay. That seemed fair. I don't even care what happened. So, of course, I could have had everyone in position already, now that I think about it. Of course, I could have had everyone just... Let's delay his turn. Of course the goddamn thing breathes in Morrow's general direction, wiping him out in a single shot. Because of course. Does she have Dispel? No. Jeez, with an armor class of 72, even removing the concealment does nothing to help us. Goddamn thing is racist against Kitsune, I guess. I mean, I could move him back, but then I would have to move him forward to make him useful in the fight. Which doesn't do us any favors. And I have to remember that it's airborne, so Tarpool is out. And if it uses a breath attack, like, what the frick am I supposed to do? Ah. I think I know exactly what we're supposed to do. We need to give everyone extra health. Adamantine won't help against the damage this thing is going to be doing. It's not using any elements. No. That'll just it'll just spawn in and die. Crap. Well, this is bad. So what we're looking at is just one sweeping breath attack that just wipes everyone out. Ah. So despite having energy drain immunity, which is just a mouthful, I hate saying it, they can just hit you with strength damage because it wants to, I guess. It makes no sense. If you have energy drain immunity, you should be immune to it in all of its forms, no matter how it's applied. But the game doesn't follow those rules when it doesn't feel like it. You would think I'd have learned this lesson by now, but no. Unfortunate. Ladies and gentlemen, it appears I have finally come across something that I just can't kill. No matter how much I want to. That said, I'm not going to give up trying. As soon as I'm done with this outro, I'm going to give it the old college try until I get bored or everything finishes and it's time for me to start working on the videos. Regardless, I hope you guys have enjoyed yourselves and everything you've seen here. I don't know how I'm going to cut up the story bit that I had to read out, but considering that I tell you what happened anyway with the other choice I made, I can go ahead and cut that out. And we don't have to waste time watching that again. Or you guys don't have to waste time watching that. It sucked, it was awful, and I hated it so much that I just started it over from the beginning. So, you're welcome. And so, with all that said, we will see you